Hey guys, it's Dan the Lad, you're looking good today, and welcome to another episode of Discover Taiwan. Taiwan is a magical, confusing place. When I first came here, all I knew about it was that it was unbearably hot and that it wasn't Thailand. This meant that I made all sorts of embarrassing mistakes. After 10 years here, I now know enough to only make myself look like an idiot sometimes as opposed to always. So for today's video, I thought I'd give some information to people planning on coming here on some cultural faux pas. I'm so French. They are in no particular order, and hopefully I can spare people some embarrassment. Let's go! Number 1, don't write people's name in red. I found this one out the hard way since I'm a teacher and one day I didn't have a blue pen at hand, so I had to write some of the students' names down in red ink. Oh, the shock and horror as the kids scrambled to tell me that I couldn't do that. It turns out that criminals sentenced to death have their names written in red. Not to mention the red ink looks like blood, so it's no surprise that people wouldn't want to have their names associated with that. Hey. Number 2, don't wear your shoes indoors. This is something common to many countries in Asia, but it can still be awkward if you don't know or randomly forget. In Taiwan, outdoor shoes are considered dirty, which, makes sense since you've been walking around in the street with them all day. Most households have slippers for you to wear, although occasionally they can be less than fresh. Or you can just wear your socks, but certainly don't mess up your host's clean floor with your dirty shoes. Which leads me to... Number 3, don't go to bed without taking a shower or lie down in your outdoor clothes, especially if you have a partner. The same attitude that is taken to outdoor shoes is often taken to outdoor clothes. Many people just don't ever sit on their beds until they're freshly showered and in their pajamas. And if you sit on somebody's bed with your clothes on, you may risk offending them. For the same reason, Taiwanese people like to shower at night, so they can go to bed fresh and clean and avoid dirtying it. This is especially important if you have a partner. One of my exes would not let me climb into bed until I had had a shower, even though I was used to showering in the morning, which I found extremely unreasonable. Number 4, don't put your chopsticks upright in a bowl of rice. This is a big no-no in Taiwan, which might occasionally get you gasps from older folk, whilst I think the young people generally don't care as much. To the clueless foreigner, it might seem harmless enough, but to the Taiwanese, it resembles the ritual of burning incense in a bowl of rice for the deceased. As you can imagine, conjuring up images of death is probably not the best thing to do during dinner. Number 5, don't swear at people. Don't call anyone a in public. Even though you may often want to refrain from insulting someone in a public place, including online. In most countries you can only get sued for physical assault, but in Taiwan there's a weird offense called public insult, and this allows people to sue over being insulted. In a country that prizes face over everything else, it kind of makes sense, so make sure you aren't caught out. Make sure to look up which words are okay to say and which aren't, since there are specific words that aren't okay. The F word in particular as a foreigner comes to mind. Though of course, the best thing to do is to not insult anyone at all. Be nice and live in harmony. Number 6, don't eat and drink in the metro. The Taipei metro is one of the cleanest in the world, and one of the reasons for that is that you aren't allowed to eat anything once you enter the platform. And when I say anything, I do mean anything. My girlfriend, who is not from Taipei and was not aware of this rule, recently visited me and was caught chewing gum. She was taken to the office of the metro security and promptly charged 1,500 Taiwanese dollars. That's the smallest fine you can get because luckily for her, she's cute. But you can technically be fined up to 7,500 Taiwanese dollars. So hold on to that thirst for a little bit longer, or it might turn out to be a really expensive Coca-Cola. Number 7, don't be involved in extramarital affairs. This one should go without saying, but cheating on your husband or wife is bad, okay? In Taiwan, despite there being a fairly well-known mistress culture, cheating goes beyond being liable for divorce and is actually criminalized with up to a year in prison for the most severe cases. Not only that, even if you yourself are single, if you engage in intercourse with a married person, you are also liable. That's absolutely ridiculous. All of this means that you should be very careful what you do, since only some sex acts are punishable, and who you do it with. Make sure whoever you're sleeping with isn't married.
哎，好久不见！哎，你变胖了！
靠，你们全家才胖啊！ Number 8, don't respond to your fact with you too. So anyone who has lived in Taiwan for any amount of time or has Taiwanese friends or family is sure to have come across this one. People are very straightforward about commenting on your weight and or less flattering aspects of yourself upon seeing you. If you haven't seen someone for a while, it's really common to be greeted with a "you got fat." In general, the people saying it don't mean any harm, it's just quite customary, particularly amongst old ladies. But don't respond with a cheeky "you too," because these old ladies can dish it out, but they sure can't take it. Number 9, don't leave stuff in your U-bag basket. This is probably just a pet peeve of mine, or it maybe has something to do with the lack of bins in Taiwan. But every time I ride a U-bag in Taiwan, there is always a boba cup, a bento box, or some other miscellaneous trash in the basket. In any case, I find it really annoying, especially when there's only one bag left and I can't choose a different one. So if you are watching this, and you know who you are, please stop leaving your trash in the U-bag baskets.
我跟你们说，你们中国人真的很。
Number 10, don't call the people Chinese. Finally, we get to the last point on our list, the one that the casual visitor to Taiwan is likely to mess up. Don't call Taiwanese people Chinese. While Taiwanese culture and Chinese culture have a lot in common, it's a super touchy subject and a lot of people don't appreciate being called Chinese. It's kind of like if you call a Scottish person English, they probably aren't going to take it very well. Be careful and inform yourself of the situation before you arrive, and it should be easy to avoid any misunderstandings. Oh, and Taiwan is not Thailand. That one's for my Spanish friends. Anyway, that's it for my top 10 things not to do in Taiwan. Was it helpful? Did I forget something? Let me know in the comments below. And even though it seems like there are a lot of things, Taiwanese people are actually really friendly. So you shouldn't really be too scared of messing up. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like to support me, you could become a patron and have your name featured. Or you could consider buying my clothes or novel. In any case, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, try something new.